welcome back to Stylishnaija YouTube channel. I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers. Today I'm going to be showing you how to cut and sew this V waist and kaftan. So you could see the picture up there. Someone actually sent it to me from one of my subscribers. So that's what I'm teaching you how to cut today. Cut and sew. We're actually going to be doing it. If you find this video helpful, please do not hesitate to like this video and then share this video with your friends. If you have not subscribed already, please subscribe, and then you could drop a comment for me on the comment section. So the first thing I'm going to be doing now for this kaftan, for this kind of kaftan, because of the nature of the cut that is on it, we're going to be cutting it half. That's for only the front pattern. That's for only the front piece. So you just watch closely and see what I'm doing. So I have my fabric folded into two. So it's folded into two. So from this folded into two, you measure half of your back and measurement. That's from this point like this to where you want the sleeve to be. So you measure it. So I've measured mine out. So what I'm going to be using here is 26 inches. That's from half of my shoulder. This is the 26 inches here. And then I'm just going to add allowance to it, because I'm going to be opening it. So from this point now, the half and cut, you measure the half cut of where you actually want the cut to be. So for mine, where I want it to be, I actually want it to be at between 16 or 17. So the extra, I have 2 inches left as my allowance. So from this point, I'm just going to mark this point like this, and then I'll come to this point. So from this point, since I said I want mine to be at 17 inches, this is the 17 inches cut here. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now, I'm going to be making a V. I'm going to be making a V shape. So this kaftan, you could decide to do it in 2 ways. You could decide to use the slash and spread method for it, but I'm just going to do it in the freehand way. So I'm just going to slant it to this point. So this is where I'm taking my measurement from. So I'll slant it out from this point. So I'll cut it out now. So I'll cut it out. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to open up this point. I'll open up and this point, that's from the V point. I'll just open it up like this. And then this is what I have. So when I open it up, this is what I'm going to be having. So you could see the V-ness of, so it depends on how sharp you want it to be. So you do it how sharp you want it to be. So I'm just going to keep this out now and then cut out another fabric. That's for the down part of this kaftan. I'm going to cut it out. So I'm just going to keep this. So what you are going to keep cut out, you cut out double of this length, of this width. You're just going to double it. So it depends on how full you want the pleat to be. So you remember what you will do, the full length of your kaftan, you minus this part from it, from the full length of your kaftan. So you minus the upper part out of it, and then you cut out. So I'm just going to cut out what I'm going to pleat on top of mine now. So I'll just fold my fabric and cut it out. Okay guys, so I have my fabric laid out. So I'm making a short kaftan. So you could decide to make yours a long one. So the length that I'm using here is actually 28 inches. That's for the down, but the width that I'm using, I'm just going to tell you how much inches extra I'm adding to this. This is 26 inches. So I have 50 inches opened up like this. That's about 100, because you can see my fabric is folded into 2. So I added about 26 inches extra. That's like double of this. So that's what I did, double of the width. So I have 2, because this one is open also, this one is open. So the simple thing I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be pleating one to fit on this side and then pleat the other one to fit on the other side. So because it is open. So that's just what I'm going to do basically. I'm going to pleat it first before we cut out the shape of the kaftan. Okay, so guys, this is my 2 piece. So I'm going to be pleating this one on this side, and then I'll pleat this on this side, just along this line up to about this point, and then this side I'll just make it straight. So you could decide to pleat all through. So that's just what I'm going to be doing now. And in pleating it, I'm going to leave half an inch or 1 inch on those points that I'll use to join it when I'm joining it from the middle. So I'm just going to pleat. So I'll turn these points now. Okay guys, so I finished stitching it together. So after pleating it, I just decided to stitch it on it because it was getting a little bit difficult for me to stitch because of the nature of my fabric. So I finished and I stitched it together. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to join those middle points together in order for me to get that sharp V. So you could see and the V now is taking shape. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to join the kaftan from the middle to the down. Then before we now start shaping out bring out the shape of the kaftan. So I'll do that. Okay guys, so welcome back. So you could see I finished pleating it. So you could see I achieved the V on it. So I pleated it. So the next thing now, we're going to start measuring out the full body measurement of the kaftan now. Okay guys, so welcome back. So like I told you, I said I'm making a short kaftan, so you could decide to make yours longer. So the first thing I'm going to start, this is the front. I'll measure out the front first, and then before I start measuring out the back. So I'm going to use the entire length that I measured out earlier as my arm measurement. That's from the half of my shoulder. So we're just going to do the regular kaftan measurement. So from this point now, I'll measure my sleeve opening. So I'm using 7 inches for my sleeve opening. So this point will be my sleeve opening. So from this point now, I'm going to start curving. I'm going to start marking. Then I'll come to this point to measure out my hip line measurement. So from this point like this, I'm going to measure 23 inches. So I'll measure to 23 inches or 22 inches. That's what I'm going to use for my hip measurement. Then from this hip point, I'm going to measure my hip measurement. It's not supposed to be tight, so I'm going to be making use of 15 inches. So I'll just add 1 inch as my allowance. So I'm going to measure from this point like this. I'll measure it down. I'm just going to take it down straight to the down, that's to the hemline, and then from this point I'm just going to curve it up to this point. So I'm going to cut it out now. Before I cut out the neckline, I'm going to cut the back and the front neckline together. Okay guys, so I've placed, this is my front piece. I've placed it on the back piece. So this is the back piece. I placed it back on it, so I'm going to cut it out the same. So you notice on this side that has the pleats on it, I just brought them close to each other so that I'll get out the actual shape together. So that's just what I'm going to do now. So I've cut out the back and the front together. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to cut out the neckline. For the neckline, you can decide to cut out whatever neckline you want to. So for this, I'm going to cut out the front neckline as a V neckline, just like the picture. And then the back neckline, I'm going to make it a high round neckline. So I'm just going to use my regular measurement, neckline measurement, 3 inches by 5 inches. So I'm just going to open it up like this. So this is for the front neckline. So for the back and neckline, I'm just going to use the same measurement. and then I'll use 1.5 inches because I want it to be high. So I have my necklines out now. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to drop the shoulder point from this point by 1 inch to slope it a little bit. So guys, we're done. So the next thing, I'm just going to take it back to my machine, turn the neckline and then couple it and then show you the final look. So it's really simple and easy. So the essence of this video is just for you to achieve this V on the front. So I'm going to couple it up now. Okay guys, so this is the final look of the dress. So like I said from the beginning, this was my emphasis on how to get this V here on the front. So this is just how you achieve this V. So this is mine. So you could decide to make yours. You could decide to make it into a long dress. You could decide to make it into a short dress. You could decide to make it into a top. So the essence is just achieving this. So guys, so I've now come to the end of this video. If you find it helpful, please do not hesitate to like this video, share and subscribe if you have not done so already. So thank you so much. I'll see you in my next video.